Hey you! Did you know any of these curious facts? 1. American versus European roulette wheels. The American and European roulette wheels may look similar at first glance, but there's a key difference that separates the two. The American wheel has two green spaces, 0 and 00, while the European wheel only has one green space, the single 0. Despite this difference, both wheels have a surprising and eerie connection. If you add up all the numbers on either wheel, the total equals 666. Yes, that's right. The infamous number often associated with the devil. Some even call roulette the devil's game. Whether it's a mere coincidence or something more, it certainly adds a mysterious edge to this popular casino game. 2. Brown Friday, plumbers' busiest day of the year. While shoppers rush to stores on Black Friday, another group of professionals has an entirely different name for the day after Thanksgiving. Plumbers call it Brown Friday. And no, it's not for the reason you're probably thinking. It turns out that the day after Thanksgiving is the busiest day of the year for plumbers. The spike in calls isn't caused by clogged toilets, but rather by overworked drains, garbage disposals, and kitchen pipes. The massive amount of cooking, cleaning, and entertaining during Thanksgiving takes its toll on household plumbing, and plumbers are called in to save the day. It's not glamorous, but for them, it's a day of major business. 3. The theft that made the Mona Lisa famous. Believe it or not, there was a time when Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa wasn't widely known. In 1911, when the painting was stolen from the Louvre, it was the theft itself that made headlines around the world, drawing more attention than the painting ever had. Strangely, more people visited the museum to see the empty space than had ever come to see the painting itself. The thieves, 3 Italians, including the mastermind Vincenzo Peruggia, had made a clean getaway. Peruggia, a former Louvre employee who had helped install the protective glass around the painting, knew exactly how to remove it. He wasn't caught until 28 months later when he tried to sell the painting in Florence. Though he confessed, he received a surprisingly light sentence of just 8 months in prison. 4. The chilling effect of Scream on caller ID. The 1996 horror movie Scream didn't just terrify audiences, it also led to a massive increase in the use of caller ID across the United States. In the film, a masked killer stalks and murders his victims after calling them, creating a wave of fear surrounding anonymous calls. In the aftermath of the movie's release, demand for caller ID services reportedly tripled as people became increasingly anxious about who might be on the other end of the line. The movie's portrayal of phone-related terror played into fears about technology and personal safety, making caller ID seem like an essential tool for protection. 5. How a Polish doctor saved thousands from the Nazis with a fake typhus epidemic. During World War II, a young Polish doctor named Eugene Lazowski performed a daring act of deception to save thousands of lives from the Nazis. Lazowski, along with fellow physician Stanislaw Matulewicz, discovered a way to fake a typhus outbreak using a harmless bacterium that would cause positive results on typhus tests. Knowing that the Nazis feared the highly contagious disease, Lazowski used this knowledge to create a false epidemic, forcing the German army to quarantine the area around Rozwadów, Poland. Thanks to their ingenuity, 8,000 villagers, many of them Jews in hiding, were spared from Nazi persecution for over 2 years. 6. A liquid you can breathe, the science of perfluorohexane. Imagine being able to breathe underwater. Well, with perfluorohexane, a special fluorocarbon liquid. That might just be possible. This unique liquid contains enough oxygen and carbon dioxide to allow animals to breathe while fully submerged in it. The liquid structure has enough space between molecules to facilitate gas exchange, making it an intriguing candidate for potential medical applications like liquid ventilation, drug delivery, and even blood substitutes. While still largely experimental, it could one day revolutionize medicine and underwater exploration. 7. Curry-spiced sheep reduce methane emissions by 40%. Could curry help fight climate change? According to researchers at Newcastle University, feeding sheep spices like coriander and turmeric commonly used in curries, can reduce the amount of methane in their farts by up to 40%. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas, and livestock such as sheep and cows produce a significant amount of it due to their slow digestive systems. By adding these spices to their diets, the bad methane-producing bacteria are suppressed while the beneficial bacteria thrive. This small change could not only help reduce methane emissions, but also improve livestock productivity by conserving more energy for meat and milk production. 8. In Alabama, it was once illegal to play cards on Sunday. Imagine getting fined or even jailed for playing cards on a Sunday. This was once a reality in Alabama, thanks to the Certain Acts Prohibited on Sunday law, passed in 2006. The law made it illegal to engage in various activities like hunting, racing, card playing, or even working, with exceptions for acts of charity or daily necessities. Breaking the law could lead to fines or even jail time. However, the law was repealed in 2015, so you're now free to play cards, hunt, or race on Sundays without fear of punishment. 9. Octopuses, lovers and fighters. Octopuses are solitary creatures by nature, and they generally avoid physical contact, except in two specific situations: mating and aggression. When it comes to mating, the encounter is often brief and intense, with females frequently turning on the males after the act. In some cases, female octopuses will even strangle and eat their mate. After laying their eggs, female octopuses typically stop eating and die soon after, leaving behind a new generation to carry on their unique, isolated existence. 10. The story behind Margarita Pizza, a tribute to Italy's flag. The famous Margarita Pizza, with its simple yet delicious combination of tomato, mozzarella, and basil, wasn't just an accident of culinary history. In 1889, Queen Margherita of Italy was bored with the fancy French cuisine that dominated European royalty's diet. During a visit to Naples, she requested something more down-to-earth. So renowned pizza maker Raffaele Esposito created a dish that represented the colors of the Italian flag: red tomato, white mozzarella, and green basil. The Queen loved it, and the pizza was named in her honor, a tribute to both her and the newly unified Italian nation. 11. The wartime origins of Nutella. Nutella, the world's favorite hazelnut chocolate spread, owes its existence to the economic hardships of World War II. In 1946, Italian pastry maker Pietro Ferrero, faced with chocolate shortages due to wartime rationing, turned to the abundant local supply of hazelnuts to stretch his limited chocolate supply. He created a spreadable treat called pasta gianduja, which was later renamed Nutella in 1964 by his son. But Nutella's origins go back even further. During Napoleon's time in 1806, when a blockade caused chocolate prices to soar, forcing chocolatiers in Turin to mix hazelnuts into chocolate to extend their stock, creating the original Gianduja. 12. The Xbox was almost called the DirectX box. The original name for Microsoft's Xbox console was almost much less catchy: DirectX box. The console was developed in response to Sony's PlayStation 2, which was being marketed as not just a gaming device, but a home entertainment system. 4 engineers from Microsoft's DirectX team were tasked with creating a competitive console, and the original idea was to brand it around DirectX, the graphics technology Microsoft had developed for Windows games. After testing various names, Xbox emerged as the favorite, and the rest is gaming history. 13. The ancient Greeks' spiked dog collars. Did you know that spiked dog collars were originally designed to protect dogs from wolves? Invented by the ancient Greeks, these collars were meant to safeguard guardian dogs, who protected livestock from wolf attacks. The spikes would deter or injure wolves that tried to bite the dog's neck, while the thick collar protected the dog's vital areas. These collars were more than just protective gear. They were a symbol of bravery, with some legends even suggesting that dogs only received them after their first successful wolf encounter. 14. Your skeleton regenerates every 10 years. Did you know that your skeleton is constantly renewing itself? Through a process known as remodeling, old bone tissue is broken down and replaced with new bone over time. This process takes around a decade to complete, meaning that every 10 years, you essentially have a brand new skeleton. Osteoclasts break down old bone tissue, while osteoblasts build new tissue, ensuring that bones remain strong and healthy. This continuous regeneration is why your bones can heal from fractures, though this ability diminishes with age as the process slows down. So, technically, the bones you have today are not the same ones you had a decade ago. 15. In Longyearbyen, Svalbard, it's illegal to die. In the remote town of Longyearbyen, on the Arctic archipelago of Svalbard, it's not just the harsh climate that makes life challenging, it's also illegal to die there. The permafrost that covers the ground prevents bodies from decomposing properly, preserving whatever pathogens or diseases the deceased may have carried. For this reason, the local government requires that anyone nearing death must be transported to the mainland for burial. Pregnant women are also sent to the mainland to give birth. This unusual rule, in place for over 70 years, ensures that the town remains a safe haven from the risk of disease re-emerging from the frozen bodies in its graveyards. 16. Hangry is a real thing. The science behind it. The term hangry, used to describe the feeling of anger caused by hunger, is more than just a catchy word. It's backed by science. When your brain is low on glucose, which is its primary fuel source, your ability to control emotions becomes impaired. This can lead to increased irritability and even anger. When you're hungry, your body releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which are associated with stress, exacerbating feelings of frustration. This response is an evolutionary trait, meant to drive you to find food quickly, but it also explains why even small annoyances can seem overwhelming when you're starving. So, if you find yourself snapping at someone when you're hungry, remember, it's not just in your head. 17. Thomas Edison's electric pen and the birth of the tattoo machine. In 1876, Thomas Edison invented the electric pen, a device designed for duplicating handwritten documents by puncturing paper with small holes that could be filled with ink. This early technology was later adapted by Samuel O'Reilly in 1891 to create the world's first electric tattoo machine. O'Reilly modified Edison's design, replacing the pen's puncturing tip with a needle that would inject ink into the skin. This innovation revolutionized the tattoo industry, making the process faster and more precise. Today, modern tattoo machines still operate on the same basic principles as Edison's electric pen, marking yet another way Edison's inventions left a lasting legacy. 18. The original Game Boy's remarkable battery life. When the Nintendo Game Boy was released in 1989, it quickly became a sensation, not just because of its games, but because of its extraordinary battery life. Unlike its competitors, which boasted better graphics but required frequent recharging or battery swaps, the Game Boy could run for an impressive 30 hours on just 4 AA batteries. Its simple design, lack of a backlit screen, and energy-efficient technology made it a portable gaming powerhouse. Players could take it almost anywhere without worrying about running out of power, and this factor contributed greatly to its success as one of the most iconic handheld gaming consoles of all time. 19. Boanthropy, the condition that makes you believe you're a cow. Boanthropy is an incredibly rare psychological disorder where an individual believes they are a cow or a similar animal, adopting bovine-like behaviors such as grazing on grass, mooing, and even walking on all fours. This condition is often linked to severe mental health issues, and cases throughout history have been documented, though they are extremely rare. In some cases, it is thought to be triggered by intense stress or trauma, resulting in a deep psychological regression. Interestingly, boanthropy has been mentioned in ancient religious texts and medical literature for centuries, reflecting humanity's complex understanding of mental illness. 20. The deadly history of water dropwort, or dead man's fingers. Water dropwort, a highly toxic plant commonly found in the UK, has a long and sinister history. Known as dead man's fingers due to the shape of its root, this plant contains powerful toxins that can cause death when ingested. In pre-Roman times, it was allegedly used in ritual killings, and its effects are as gruesome as they are deadly. The toxins in water dropwort cause severe convulsions and muscle contractions, including a terrifying effect on the facial muscles, causing a permanent fixed grin or sardonic grin before death. The plant's notoriety is such that it has been linked to ancient Sardinia, where it was supposedly used to poison criminals and sacrificial victims. As we wrap up this incredible journey through bizarre facts and mind-boggling stories, it's clear that our world is full of surprises, some eerie, some fascinating, and all of them unforgettable. From the secret histories behind everyday objects to the scientific wonders that challenge our understanding, these tales remind us that there's so much more to life than meets the eye. Each of these facts opens a door to deeper mysteries, inviting us to stay curious and never stop exploring. So, whether it's a centuries-old invention, a psychological phenomenon, or the story behind your favorite snack, remember, there's always a hidden story waiting to be discovered. Thank you for joining us on this wild adventure. What blew your mind the most? Was it the devilish secret of the roulette wheel? Or the heroic story of a doctor who outwitted the Nazis? Let me know in the comments which fact was your favorite, or if you have any mind-boggling facts of your own that you want to share. I love hearing from you, and your comments could even inspire a future video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more incredible content. Stay curious, stay inspired, and until next time, keep exploring the wonders of this extraordinary world. Catch you in the next video.